low this morning. Look how high it is, but then I'm also through over here. Tip you down, you can see some critters. Yeah, look. Nice sunrise. Or critters. I was looking at these little holes. These little buggers keep getting up earlier and earlier. I haven't found one that's still open this morning yet. There's one over toward that cow. Used to be one right over here, but he's not no more. And then I found this one over here yesterday. But no, two fresh holes this morning, and they're done by 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there. Had I really been prepared when I came over here, one of the yearlings over there was actually about where I'm at when I was wandering around over that way. And she came walking toward me, got about 20 feet from me, let out a beller and started bucking and kicking and jumping around. And the rest of this group are over there eating hay. Need to get the pasture harrow out here because you can tell where they lay over there. Those aren't gopher mounds or wall mounds. Need to spread that out. So maybe get the tedder rake unhooked today because I don't think we're going to use it on that second cut. I don't think it's going to be enough there to use it on. My plan for that is I'm going to lay that stuff out flat as can be and let it cook for a day or two. And then we might use a side delivery and roll it. We'll see. Got to get it cut first. Got to get that far first. Kind of like the rest of my day, I got to get to it first. So hopefully the kids can get that load of hay delivered today. Yeah, I got to get a hold of the other hay customer and find out how many bales he actually picked up. His counter on that little baler don't work right anyway. I think I got it figured out. I think I fixed it by the last field, of course. But, yeah. Kind of need to get a little money flowing, so. The gal, we deliver to her today. She'll pay when we deliver it to her. So the guy always wait till he's done, and he's usually good at having all the money together at the same time, so. Just got to get it. That was an interesting move. That was her. She just realized that her mother's right there and that it's time for breakfast. Slam on the brake, slide to a teat. Just like that. Stick your butt in mom's face. I was trying to turn to get you some scenery here. There we go. And what used to be really, really, really awesome pasture for about 100 years on the other side of that fence. They sprayed that with glyphosate last time. Can you tell? And up along the road, all the grass is good and dead in what used to be the hayfield, but the broadleaf in there is waist high and quite a bit. I mean, it's not solid, but yeah, all they're doing is growing weeds. Haven't done any pasture harrowing this year yet. Make it look like that to that. Scatter the manure out a little bit. Give a little more room for grass to grow. Scuff up the ground a little. Got the big traveler sitting over there. It's not in this field yet, but it's going to run down here to get a good soaking on this. And we'll see if we can keep up with the little one down here. So, yeah, just fun, man, fun. Usually Mom does this, but she likes her 135 to do it with. And, you know, every single tractor's been tied up. The other 135, I mean, we could unhook it from the grinder mixer, but I've still had dreams of getting some oats ground for the calves, too. But I gotta do this, preferably before we water. Make things go a little better. I mean, the little traveler Robert, I wasn't real worried about getting it spread out. It wasn't putting that much water on, but the big one will help get it in and get stuff growing, I hope. And get this piece done and then do the 3/4 hay field. I just took them off there this morning. It's got some pretty good piles too. And that's where we're going to work our way back to watering anyway. Keep it growing so they got something to eat. Wouldn't be as bad if we weren't going to try to get a second cutting off at 20 acres, but you know, that kind of cuts into what they have, what's available. Usually they're on all the hay ground as soon as we get the bales off. We put them on right away. They clean up whatever we might have missed. Usually there's some good leaf growth by the time they're in there. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do for a little bit. Should have got you a little. Seems Grandma told the kids that we got a yearling heifer. Had a swelled up hind leg. So they come out and look. Number 2 said, to start with, it looked like she's got a toe coming off. And she got able to get a little closer and looks like there's a piece of wire wrapped around it. A scratch on her leg too. I mean, I was kind of, all honest, I was kind of glad to hear her say there was a piece of wire wrapped around it, because that explains why. And so get it up, get it cut off, get some copper talks in it, and I probably should have told them to get some hydrogen peroxide on it too, but they're smart enough to know. They know how to do it. But funny thing is, they got her over here all by herself from clear over there. And Bam Bam had to come walk across to see what was up after they got her in. Check in on these ladies. So anyway, hopefully get her treated, some antibiotics in her, and have it all done with. I'd be done with this, but we stopped and discussed it for a minute. I kind of looked at her from like 100 feet away, watching her move, going, yep, okay. So, anyway, they're all over there concerned about their friend. Turns out it was a rubber gasket. I'm assuming an irrigation gasket. Not real sure how one got knocked out, but, you know, strange things happen once in a while. There is a bunch of pipe laying right there. A squirrel or something could have knocked one out. She could have stepped on it just right, I guess. Either that or aliens came down and took it out of the pipe and slipped it around her hoof. I don't know. Either way, she's not running a temp, so that's a good thing. May just be swelled up just because the circulation's screwed up. Either way, a little antibiotic's a good idea, because any of that kind of stuff can cause serious issues. And I guarantee she's a good heifer, because she's still here. It doesn't mean she's going to make a good cow, but she's a good heifer. So, and yep, all I got left is this little strip. Then I can get the gun in here and get some water flying. An idea how much difference the water is making. They haven't been able to eat underneath the gun. It's been sitting there for what, maybe a week, not quite a week. So that's how much growth would be on the rest of this since we watered it last, had they not been eating on it the whole time. I got this one stretched out. hooked up, make some water fly. She just moved wrong, but there it is, you can see it. That appears to be like a small oil filter gasket or something similar. So either something that washed in the high water or something that got bailed up in a bale that they were eating on. But the heifer's doing well. She's gonna run away. I should just give her a big old bear hug, right? And this is the second attempt to turn it on. It come uncoupled with the hose, which I expect because it's the wrong style couplings. And I got a chain on it and it didn't hold. So we're gonna try it again. Did it again. Time's a charm. Had to go get the bike and get a small chain off it to add onto that one so I could pull it up tight like it needed to be. Not quite shooting as far as I thought it might. And we're going through about 100 feet of 3-inch to get to the 4-inch hose, but so that may be one reason. I expect it to get a little higher on the hill, but then you got the hill in the way, so that kind of cuts down on about, well, there's enough hill that probably cuts down on at least 10 feet of distance. And this other way, I thought it was going to get almost all the way across that, between the old creek bed and the creek, but it's only getting, well, yeah, it's getting half of it at least. Maybe a little more than half, actually. Probably about 30 feet beyond half, so that's better. I could run a little gun through here and make 3 or 4 trips, 5 trips, 6 trips with it, whatever, to make up for it. But hopefully by tonight that will have that strip well watered. I just got to go put that in gear so it'll start coming in and set a speed on it. Really, it wouldn't hurt it if it didn't finish till morning, but one thing I got to watch down here is the power lines. It doesn't look like it's getting high enough. It might catch the ground wire, but it ain't going to catch the others. I know a guy who about, 10, 15 years ago, he made the mistake with a much bigger Traveler. I mean, it was like a frickin', 2,000-foot hose. Like a 6-inch hose on it. So, they had a 2-inch nozzle on the end and it really shot. And he went to make an adjustment on the speed or something at the Traveler as it was coming underneath the power lines. He ended up in the hospital for a couple weeks. Lived through it all right. Little hole in his foot. Took him a little while before he could walk on it again. So yeah, we don't mess with those things. And luckily, this is the only place around through here where we got to worry about. Used to be kids moving irrigation pipe would take like a 40-footer and they needed to move it different directions, so they'd flop it endo, and you know what happens when you take a 40-foot pipe and flip it up there? Yeah, some of them learned the hard way. They never had a chance to do it again though. Chain's holding. The hook came unhooked, but obviously it's in there enough to seal good enough. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to worry if it's leaking a little bit there. Obviously a little more pressure up here than we've had for a while. It's puking out there pretty good. It's been down to where it hasn't been leaking much. But you know how that goes. And we're just shy of 110 pounds right here. And that'll change when you adjust the turbine. Make sure this thing's moving for sure. Ever so slowly. I got it set at the same speed that we put about 5 inches of water on at, so get this soaked pretty good. Like I said, if we don't make it across today, that's fine. It'll be across in the morning. Probably have a freaking pond down here in the morning because it'll set a couple hours too long, but I'm late enough getting it going, maybe it won't be too bad. Cows. And of course the 2 youngest calves.
They didn't know where to go. Really, 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 really pissed off cows. I told them they have to go back over there, play in the sprinkler. You can hear what they're telling me. Unfortunately, it's not like I can go anywhere with them. So, that's where they get. They don't realize across the creek and back in those trees has all been well watered. They haven't been back there. So they do have someplace to go. Well, I just got to pasture Harrow and everything I was going to do for now. Thought I'd come in and see how she looks. Yeah, poor girl in here all by herself. But she seems to be okay with it. It saves her having to walk as much out there. It's her left hind that O-ring was wrapped around. So they took care of her. She can relax in here. She's got water, she's got hay, she's got shade. Don't you, sweetheart? Yeah. And she ain't running from me, so she just doesn't want to be in here by herself, but at the same time, what are you doing, goofball? No, don't be doing that. I'll leave. Yeah. Apparently I make her uncomfortable. That's okay. And number one just texted me, said she's gonna give Grandma back the bill book after delivering that hay and go home because her knee's killing her after yesterday and then of course today. And number two texted me while they were down there delivering that hay, and a couple years ago she did something to her ring finger and hurt like hell for like 3 or 4 months. It's not trigger finger, but it's got to be something similar. Well, apparently, yeah, that happened while they're down there, so they're both in great moods. And I get to batch it for a couple nights because Becky and her friend that she calls her sister are going down to Florence to pick up some tires for her friend's husband's side-by-side. I was like, really? Can't get them anywhere else? And no, that's the best deal they found on them anywhere. And cheap enough, it's well worth the trip. And of course, they'll spend at least 2 nights off and gone. Oh yeah, I was going to show you when I was out there. They've made their way all around. They're pretty well scattered out over that whole piece. So, I'm going to go find some lunch since it's going on 1 o'clock and I'm getting hungry. Well, it's still moving. It's what it's supposed to be doing. I think it's actually getting quite a ways farther over there than it was originally, or than it looked like it was, which is good. Not over far enough to get their hay wet down there, but far enough to make it worthwhile when it gets done with that. And I move it back out of there. I'll run a little one along the creek and fill in that little void over there. Give you an idea how much it's moved. It's just now catching the fence, and I had it up. It was shooting over the fence pretty good. So, oh, that's what I hear. I hear this funny noise from over here. The tubes on these creep feeders get full of bees. I'm listening to a bee buzzing at me. Anyway, that's that got. That's right at 6 hours it's been out there. So, yeah, it'll be mid-morning before it's ready to move at the speed it's going. That's fine. Got enough stuff to do. Got a trailer to fix now. Guy just brought it down. It was supposed to be a couple months ago when I kind of had time. Might work on that in the morning. I don't know. We'll see. But it's hot. I'm going to go back in. Cool off. You better go run underneath that thing. Yeah, I don't feel like getting soaked. I'm wet enough. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all had a good Sunday. Hope you all have a good week.